Hi everybody, I'm on page 8 in the course pack, and we have talked about the musical alphabet in Notes in the Clefs and how they actually do follow the musical alphabet. If we look at this and we say, well, the first line in treble clef is E, the next space is F, the next line is G, and then we start over A, and the next line is B, the next space C. We're just following the musical alphabet. And that's true in every clef, as long as we know the starting note. But it's also helpful to divide the lines up and the spaces because that can help you learn them. So if you take a sentence like every good boy does fine, that gives you the first letter of each name, I should say, or each word, corresponds to the line names. So this is E, G, B, D, and F. I had to draw a D in there, but it's on the fourth line. Every good boy does fine. The spaces make the word face, F-A-C-E. So that's pretty nice for treble clef. Bass clef, we look at this and we could say, well, this is an interesting sentence. Girls buy dresses from Alta. So it gives you G, B, D, F, A. And then the spaces, A, C, E, G, all cows eat grass, is something you could use. You can make up different ones too for these, like alto and tenor. I don't really have one, but I want you to work on both of these clefs. For me, I'm pretty familiar, well, I'm very familiar with treble clef, and so I can look at where the C is in alto, and I know that in treble clef, the third space is C, so everything is one letter lower. So if this is C, well, that's C. So this is F is the first space, so that first line is F. A is the second space in treble clef, so that's A. That's how I do it. You could do the same thing in tenor clef if you are familiar with treble clef. You know that the third space is C, so this fourth line is C in tenor clef. So I just move everything up one. So this is the space below the staff in treble clef is D, so that's D, F, A, C, and E. Those are maybe possible tips that might help you do this. So here we are on page 7, and you're going to draw some treble clefs. And then in number 2, you're going to put a treble clef right at the beginning of that and then name those notes. So name a couple there. Just write those below. And then in the next line, you're going to, again, make a treble clef and go ahead and write in some of those notes. And it doesn't really matter because there are several A's you could write, more than one C. So it doesn't really matter where you write them, just as long as it is that letter name in treble clef. And then you're going to go on to the next line, and you're going to put a treble clef in. And then you're going to name the notes and circle the higher note in each pair. So you can see I circled the G, and I'll circle the D in that second measure. And then same thing in the next line, you're going to put a treble clef in and write in the note names. And in this one, you actually want to circle the lower notes in each pair. So go ahead and circle the lower note. Okay, let's go on. So we talked about that page already. All right, now here, these are musical words. So you just write in the letter names and you will get a word. If you don't get a word, then you know you're not doing it correctly, okay? If it's, or look it up in the dictionary if you're not sure. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We're in bass clef. So that first letter is E, and then B, and another B, and then we've got a ledger line below the staff, that's E, and then D, so the word ebbed. And then B, A, D, G, E, badge. So we've got a word there too. All right, let's go on to alto clef, and we talked about this. So A, C, E, that makes a word. And B, E, G, bag. Okay, so we've got some words in alto clef. I talked about this one on another video, but you're going to draw a treble clef in and name the notes. You're practicing ledger lines here, so you might have to think about this just a little bit. Just use your musical alphabet skill and count up the lines and spaces using the musical alphabet.